Debts are canceled.
Yeah.
They do not always linger over your head. There is a such thing as freedom.
Yeah.
There is a such thing as being able to go and enjoy life without the hardships of finances.
Mm. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. 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 Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
Ooh,
Eh.
what you do?
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Here we go. Hey, it his wife and her husband. That's all I got. That's all I got. I don't want to hurt the people. Anyway, that's right. Thank you y'all for tuning in to another episode of His Wife, Her Husband.
I am Shamika, his wife,
And I am Patrick, her husband, and our purpose is to help build
and sustain marriages.
from a biblical perspective. This is part two of
Part two.
of changes in life. We were dealing last week with
Give us the truth.
give us the truth. Amen. We were dealing with what were we dealing with last time? Me turning 50. Hey, I had a wonderful, 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 wonderful 50th birthday. My hands look, because if they don't, Joy, you're gonna be mad.
They look okay.
Um, yeah, it was a good thing. I always wonder what would my funeral look like.
Hmm.
You know that. So when I was watching the video, it was also saying, okay, man, what would people say at my funeral? And to see all of the people, there you go again, to see all of the people who were able to jump on to say things about, you know, and it's not prideful, but just to know I made an impact on in the lives of people. It was really wonderful because I always wonder all of the things that I do, and then I don't do it for accolades, but I do wonder all of the things I've done and all of the people uh, who I've run into. Like, am I really making a difference? Like, am I doing something, or is it like, is it for nothing? But a lot of people got on and
Got on what?
got on the video,
What video?
the happy birthday video. I think that's what it's called, the happy
Mm.
birthday video. And so typically, so the way we do Inspire Church, we record on Wednesdays and we promote. So it's a hybrid church. It's kind of um, house church, and we do in-person service as well. And so on certain Sundays, the second, third, and fourth Sundays, we do what we record on Wednesday. We show on social media on Sunday, and so that those who are part of the house church, they can invite families, loved ones, and members who are believers to be a part of that. So my wife was like, let's wake up in the morning. We're going to go to church. I'm like, no, today is first Sunday. On first Sunday, we don't have we don't have house church on first Sunday, first and fifth Sunday of the month. We actually have service that night at 5 p.m. And so she was like, we was going to have somebody. We're gonna go somebody to church at 9:30. I'm like, no, not this morning. We're not gonna do it this morning. So funny thing, I didn't buck as much as I normally do. And when I sat down, there was a happy birthday video of a lot of people who I've made, who have been impactful by um, being in relationship with me, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful to see all my children on there. A friend that I've been friends with since we were 6 years old.
Wow.
He was on there. One of the guys when I first started cutting hair, who I began to mentor. I'm still mentoring now. Another young man I mentor. Another young man I just started mentoring since. How long he's been dating Georgia?
It
Is it
seems
2
so
years?
long,
You
but
do.
2 or 3 years.
I think it's about 2 years, and
Hmm.
to get on there and find out that you know it's been good. So it was exciting. It was wonderful. I felt like, okay, God, I know what my funeral would look like now. I don't have to die now, so you can wait. You can push that out to past 85,
Thank you, Patrick.
whatever. So, but yeah, it was good. So I was excited, and I'm hopeful. So what they did was put a seed in me to be hopeful about the more years to come and really finding more people to impact. Not for me, again, I'm not doing it for me, but more people to impact for change. I just believe, if you find somebody in your family to mentor, that'll help change generations and begin a snowball effect. Go ahead.
I just say, and for His glory, it's for the kingdom, like,
Ultimately.
yeah. And so a lot of times that impact and influence, a lot of times we are used to it being on a seemingly larger scale,
Correct.
but we think that our small sphere of influence
Mm-hmm.
don't have a large impact. Again,
I
it
hate
may
that word.
not be amount,
Mm-hmm.
it is in percentage.
Sphere. Mm-hmm.
It's in percentage. And so you have X amount of people that you come in contact with, and the majority of them are saying, giving you feedback, because
Yeah.
basically that's what there was. We grabbed a moment to get feedback to find out how am I faring through this life. He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
He Patrick made it half a century. I love how one of his friends said he's a happy half a century,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you look at it in the large scope of things, it's like, okay, what do people that I have shared this life with have to say about me?
Right.
And hearing what they said, it gave you good feedback. So praise God for your life. That's a testament of your life. So thank you for leaving people better than you found them.
That's good.
And then it has also, I'm sure, from you telling me, it has encouraged you to keep going. It gave you fuel to
Yeah.
keep going, and you can continue to finish, allowing God to have His way in this
Mm-hmm.
portrait of your life. And so your next half, should you make it, then it's going to be beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
it'll be a masterpiece. Like, you can continue to trust God with the days of your life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, I do want to encourage us, his wife, her husband audience, to make sure that
Family.
you, family, excuse me, family, and friends, because you know what? Sidebar, Patrick and I are finding out that it is singles. There are singles that are listening too.
Right.
That it's not. I guess it's his
It's
his
a
wife, her
marriage,
husband.
so it's a YouTube channel for married couples, but
Right. But we giving nuggets for everyone.
correct.
So I want to say thank you to the family, to the family, to the family. Thank you so much. But I do want to say one of the nuggets that I want us to take away and to write down and brand on your mind and your heart is that you want to grab opportunities. Grab opportunities to see to get feedback from others.
Hmm.
Don't just be dismissive of what people are saying, whether it's positive or negative, or it's up, it's down, whatever the case may be. We need both of them to work. And we living in a time and in a space where we vibing and we all doing that. But the truth of the matter is that in order for a remote control to work, in order for it to work, you need positive and negative energy.
That's good.
It's a matter of you balancing it out, and you need to have both of them fully charged in order for that remote control to fully work.
Yeah.
So even in your life, don't be dismissive of the negative things that's happening. It's all leading you into guess what? The process, so that you can
What you doing?
experience the progress. I'm telling you, it works. If we once we settle down and settle our minds and hearts to really finding out how God has really designed this thing,
Mm-hmm.
man, we can experience some good, yummy living.
Yeah. That's good.
So anyway, grab those opportunities to get feedback. Grab the opportunity from your spouse. Guess what? Valentine's coming up. I want to say it's going to be Sunday, and it's not always about gift giving. It's not always about gift giving. Now,
Right.
let me say this. Gift giving is definitely a love language. Don't be dismissive of it, but that is not the only indicator that you are a good spouse. Like, it's okay for you to take time to write a letter. Take time to, I'm giving you some ideas. Take time to take time. Just give me quality time.
Right.
Just turn the phone off, turn the TV off. Can we just take a walk? It can be the most inexpensive yet thoughtful thing that will change the life of your spouse.
So let's go with what because with what you did for my birthday is it didn't cost any money really, but it did cost time to put together. And I told you that was the most priceless
Mm.
gift that I got this year was the kind words that you and the children and friends and people who I didn't think people who I just met too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a
They was
pretty
all
good.
ages and stages too.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Valentine.
Let's talk about it.
I'm not a fan of Valentine. So when I say I'm not a fan, it's like so I don't have a problem with Valentine. I don't know. It's just I don't know if it's the rebel in me. It's like I don't want to have to wait. Or it's like I don't know.
You
So
don't want
I'm
someone to tell
anti
you when
I'm
to.
anti commercializing stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I don't make a big deal during Christmas time because it's like they've commercialized
Mm-hmm.
what's supposed to be a celebration of the one true King that came to save us,
Mm.
and then Valentine is commercialized, and I think people looking for something when, especially if I've been, and I do, I'm gonna give you something on Valentine's Day, but it's like for people who pressure people to give them something on
Mm.
Valentine's Day, especially if they've done their part as a good spouse throughout the year, consistently giving gifts and time and touch and whatever your love language is, that you force them to do something for you on this one day that somebody created to capitalize off of my love for you. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
It's allowing somebody else to be in a relationship, ain't it?
That's a good way of putting it. I would put it that way.
You don't
So
tell me
I'm not
when to
saying
love
don't
out.
like. See, he told me I told you I wasn't gonna buy. I'm not saying don't buy anything for your wife, fellas, women. I'm not saying don't buy anything for your husband. I'm just saying if he's done or she's done consistently throughout the year, don't put a lot of pressure on him or her for that one day. Now, if
Yeah.
you ain't done nothing the whole year, you owe that person at least that one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then how real is it?
Yeah.
If I've done nothing for you the whole entire year, like whole and entire, not the same thing. If
Mm-mm.
I've done nothing for you the whole entire year, how much is, I should say that because people like, oh, you don't love me because you don't do anything for me the whole entire year and you only do something on one day. I don't know.
Mm.
Anyway, that's just my
Yeah.
feelings about Valentine. I feel like,
I would say it's not just Valentine. It's all of the holidays, commercialized holidays.
right.
I would say that's pretty much. And
If you
I
know the history of somebody, because I'm gonna look it up too. But if you're watching and you know the history of Valentine, you know, let us know. Like when did Valentine really start? Like what was the purpose of Valentine?
mm,
How did it start?
yeah.
Who did it start for?
I don't know.
Anyway, so that's yeah,
Now wait.
ideas.
I do want to say this too. Now, it's something special about when everyone can come together as a community to celebrate an occasion.
Hmm.
That's not bad. I do think that it is pretty, uh, pressuring or, commercialized definitely when they try to force you to buy something. So now
Hmm.
we can all participate in a holiday. Then let's all do it in our own creative way. Don't feel pressure by those that are in business to make you have to buy something.
And so with that, I think you're saying be thoughtful though.
Yeah, be thoughtful. Yeah,
Be
yeah, yeah.
very if you're gonna do it, like don't be pressured to buy anything, but be very thoughtful about what you're gonna do. That this is a time to show your loved one that you
Uh-huh.
really love them, and then take advantage of this time because now the heart is receptive to receive something. This may be your chance to get back in and get out the doghouse. I don't know.
Uh-huh. Because then that will go back to even what I just started out with. Like this is that time to grab the opportunity for the
Hmm.
feedback.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of times we have opportunities that come up because the truth of the matter is not just the commercialized or the big holidays like Christmas and all of that, but you also have other holidays like you have Spouses Day, Sibling Day, Grandparents
What
Day.
spouses day? Like that's a spouses day for real? Or you
Uh-huh.
just saying something?
Yeah, no, I just yeah, it's a thing. I saw spouses
That's
posting their
not
pictures.
Valentine.
It's something totally different. They were posting pictures, and it's not anniversary. They were posting pictures. I heard today was. I don't know why the couple sound like this. Today is Spouses Day. Ooh, me and my boo, we yeah.
And that's what you want to do. We're not knocking that.
Yeah, we're not knocking it. I mean,
But
it's
that is how you
fun.
sound.
Again, that's what we do. So when you find out what different days are, and
Spouses Day.
they have chocolate day, chocolate ice cream day. They have ice cream day. They have, ch- I mean, fingernail polish day. Like it. I
Fingernail
mean, you know
polish.
what? The day of beauty, self care day. Any day. I mean, they have a day for everything. Just some have
Hmm.
made the major holiday mark, and others haven't.
Gotcha.
But at any rate, you want to grab the opportunity to do something nice and give a person feedback, as well as receive feedback. That's what life is all about. Relating.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So what else we got? So we were talking about a couple of things. We were talking about me turning 50.
Mm-hmm. How you feel?
Health wise. So if you watch one of the videos, I have like I don't know if it's a tick. I don't know what it is, but
Mm.
sometimes and it's scary. My daughter says she has it as well, where my mouth, I didn't do it on purpose. I mean, I did it on purpose that time,
Okay.
but it'll like something. I don't know if it's Tourette. I don't know what's going on, but I haven't gone to the doctor yet to see what that's about. I do not to see about this little issue, but that was concerning for me. Um, Coming up on my 50th, because I'm like, okay, what's going on, God? Am I turning 50? Are things going downhill for me health wise? But my daughter and I, we kind of hugged each other and we realized what's happening. And so you went to self care. So I am more intentional now about self care. I've started doing push ups because I found. So I don't know if it's a minor stroke. Like I don't know what it
Patrick,
is.
I told you
I'm
it's
just
not that.
okay. I'm just telling you what I thought it was
Don't
leading
throw it
up
out
to.
there.
Girl. Anyway, that's what I thought it was. So then our friend, a good friend of ours, she's a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
and she was talking about how push-ups um, reduce
Tendency for, I mean, opportunities.
opportunities for a stroke by 97%.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've started doing push-ups every day. I'm a real thin guy, so but start doing push-ups every day. I get as many as I can. My goal is to get up to 250 a day, and so I'm working on that now. I don't. I about cut that out a while back though, but I drink almond milk. Y'all let me know if it's almond milk or coconut milk, which is the best milk to drink. Um, so I'm making some health choices. I up until last week, I didn't do a good job last week, but up until last week, I was walking at least 3 times a week because it was happening more. And I don't know if it's because, so my goal is to get off the cholesterol medicine and on the high blood pressure medicine. And so I'm reading a book called How Not to Die, and it's just a guy of this um, doctor who is given advice on what types of food we should be eating and what it does and how it helps. And so from that book, I'm making a list of all of the foods that really help out. And it's pretty much good exercise, good diet. I have now, I didn't do it last night, but I started I have a sleep regimen because the sweet spot is supposed to be 7.5 to 8 hours. You don't want to do less
Of
than
hours
seven
of what?
of sleep.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to do less than 7 hours. You don't want to do more than 8 hours. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, 7.5 hours. That's that sweet spot. And so I force myself now um, not to not to play the game on the phone.
Mm.
Uh, I'm
Not to be
always
on the phone.
not to be on the phone. Here's the thing. I'm always looking at some type of, even though it's preaching, it's some type of teaching in the Bible. It's still the phone is in my face and in my eyes and in my mind. So I'm doing my part to number one, I want to get off the cholesterol medicine. Number two, I want to get off the high blood pressure medicine as well. And so these are the things that I think I need to start doing. And so um, I haven't had as many episodes since I've been more aware. Like when y'all see me do this, me doing this was me coming, so I can feel the anxiety racing. Just the conversation
You're
brings about.
excited.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I would, and when I do that, the episode doesn't like I don't have it. So if y'all know anybody that's gone through that and you know what it is, probably the next time. I think I got a doctor's appointment in March. and I'll show her one of the videos, so let her see it. But anyway, yeah. So that's that. So I'm doing my part to make sure I'm healthy. There's a lot stress. My wife and I are getting out of debt. We've paid our last payment on. We had a large debt, and we made the last payment last Sunday. This past Sunday,
On your birthday.
February the 5th. Yeah. So we made that last payment. I think that kind of was part of the anxiety and the stress as well, trying to figure it out because my barbershop business tanked due to the pandemic. My life insurance business, it just for whatever reason, it would look like it's about to take off, and then people having health issues, or the policies wouldn't go through. So that was frustrating. And now that that's been taken off the plate, I am a little more relaxed and a little less,
Relieved.
relieved.
Yes, I'm
So it's good.
relieved.
So for those of you who are out there and you're believers, be praying that I do my part to make sure that my health is, especially now that I'm 50. My health is of the utmost.
It's of the essence at this
Yeah.
point, because this is by reason of strength.
No, babe. By reason of strength started at 70. You're not talking about scripture wise, right?
Oh, I was just saying, like, you got to build up the strength so that you
Gotcha.
can
That
have
makes
it.
sense.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
now now you're storing for your reason of strength.
Got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes, sir. Yes,
All right.
sir. So that's good stuff.
What about your
Um,
health issues?
I'm perfect. Ain't perfect. Now I'm just playing. You mentioned something about health. Oh, one of my soapboxes, I guess, or my I ain't gonna say it's a soapbox, but it's definitely an observation that a lot of times we as believers we will be praying for God's healing power,
Mm-hmm.
and He is definitely our healer. However, He has wired our bodies so magnificently
Yeah.
that if we do well by it, it will do well by us.
Yeah.
If we serve it, it will serve us well. And so, one of the best medicines that we can do is to get up and walk.
Mm-hmm.
It is to feed it what it needs to live life, to give it life giving things,
Yeah.
and so that we can help it out, because we living in a decaying body, we living in a decaying world, and so if we know that it's dying, we have to grab life wherever we can. So it's like you said, what's the name of the book again?
How not to die.
How Not to Die. And I love how you just explained it's not about what to cut out, it's what to add in. And so when we add in those healthy things, something as simple as almond milk, coconut milk, whichever one you prefer, oat milk, because I like oat
I
milk.
forgot about oat milk.
But yeah, you find out those things that help your body type out, help you out, and it can give you some enjoyment. Because I don't think that we have to eat a whole bunch of nasty, tasteless things.
Right. So here's the thing for marriage then. So here's a way to show this good, y'all. I'm about to help you. I'm about to help y'all. Here's a way that I just thought of, and I got it late, but that's why you give the information out. One of the things you can do for your marriage is to treat your body right, so that you can be around, especially if you love your spouse, so that you can be around for your spouse. I mean, with your spouse for the long haul.
With your spouse, for your
So
spouse.
that's a good. So here's another good tip. And we're talking about both husband and wives. Make sure you treat your body right. So that means sleep. Now I just figured it out. So I'm 50. So if you're younger than me, I'm telling you, here's the advantage for you. That means plenty of sleep, fruits and vegetables, water. That was another thing I've done better at. Exercise. Surround yourself around. Or stay away from as much negative energy or people as possible.
Because it will
environment.
drain you. Yeah, because
Yeah.
again, I know I'm not sorry to cut you off, but I know that we had mentioned earlier about the positive and negative flow, that it's a balancing. You need more positive. Like, based on your environment, what you need. It's like, no, that's going to drain me. Some things are just utterly draining.
Right.
You have to remove yourself from those toxic, hazardous, abusive spaces and places and people and even ideas. You have to remove yourself from it.
Right. Yeah. You were writing. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
Oh, we go to the next subject.
Oh no. That was me taking notes of what you were saying.
Ah,
that
okay.
was
So yeah,
I
so
was in
that's
class.
that. She was in class. So those are things that help you out in your marriage. So and then in terms of exercise, in terms of really for your sexual drive, the stamina, those things help out as well for allowing the spouses to have a complete intimate time with one another. You know what I'm saying? The sex becomes better because both parties are taking care of themselves. And then women have issues where they go through at a certain time and their age. I think the exercise will help when you be guys when you all begin to go through those um, stages of life
Changes.
changes. That's good changes. Men, we I don't know if we have those. We don't have
You
those type of
do
changes.
too, y'all
Yeah, it's
do.
called marriage. So
Wow.
so but it does help out as well because as we get older, it just helps because everything it don't work the way it used to work, and you want to make sure it works as long as you can. So these things help out. So here's the thing: while you're young, if you're a young person, listen to us, and young and married, start now because I think a lot of times a lot of older people who their body broke down is because they weren't treating it right
On the front
on the front
end.
end. And so a lot of young people feel like, well, they got a lot of energy, but no, so you got a lot of energy, still the same thing. Get like young people just stay up all night and wake up early, like just running. But even starting now, it's preventive, so that when you get our age, you won't be trying to
Scrounge it up.
fix a lot of things that have been broken down throughout the years because you wore your body out. Something else you said is that the body, a lot of things we won't have to pray to God about because He already, from the foundation of the world,
Wired
created
us.
the body to, and that's another thing the guy said in the book. If you allow the body to do what it's supposed to do, what God has already designed it to do, it'll do that. It'll heal itself. It'll auto correct itself. He was talking about even for your arteries and things, which I didn't think it could happen. But if you're eating the right food, over time, the body wants to correct itself, and it'll automatically unblock some of the stuff that's in the arteries and stuff like that. So
That's good.
it was very rewarding and very encouraging.
And to go back to, you were sharing about the exercising and making right choices and resting and stuff. That will be the one of the most attractive things to your spouse.
Hmm.
I mean, that is something that you can do to make yourself look good. And then with rest and eating properly, your attitude, your energy is going to
That's
be
true.
impeccable.
Yeah.
Like they will want to be around you versus trying to find somewhere to hide and go and sit in the garage. Like, no, that's not it. So yeah, so let's do those things to let's just try and see. And then, therefore, counseling and coaching services will kind of, people start saying, I'm not seeing a lot of people.
Hmm.
Maybe, what's going on? Well, maybe because they decided to get up and walk together and exercise, and some good old love making would just change the whole trajectory of
Right.
the house.
Right.
Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
That when you was talking about being around people, I thought about the verse. I don't know which version it is. It said that I don't know why it's so funny to me. That a man would rather live in the desert than live in a house with a fault-finding wife. He would rather go to the desert by himself than to live in the house with a fault-finding wife. And you can switch it around because it'd be a fault-finding husband. But the point is, this guy would rather go to a place where there's no food, no water,
Barely
no
rain.
plants. It's hot. There's
And
nothing
then
else.
cold at night.
It's right. He would rather be there than to dwell in the house of a fault-finding wife. So
Lord, help us. Help us. Help
if
us.
we are doing what's right for ourselves, to ourselves. So again, I believe.
That's good, boo. Wait.
Hmm.
So that means we will benefit as well as others.
Correct.
Yeah, we both. Yeah.
Yeah. So I go back to, and this is mean, it can be debatable. Um,
It's not. We don't debate.
I don't, not anymore. But when the scripture says, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul," And then the second most important law is love your neighbor as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I always think it's, I gotta love myself. Like I have to take care of me and love me so that I can properly love other people. So I have to properly love God the way it's designed. As I'm loving God, guess what? I'm gonna love myself, which then gives me the energy to love other people as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you
I'm
know
not
what?
Jesus other yourself. I'm Jesus yourself then others.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? You mentioned about loving others. That's that respecting, right?
Mhm.
Being patient.
Mhm.
You know, because now listen, if you can be patient with yourself,
Mhm.
you know you can be patient with someone else because you live with you. You know how much
Right.
of a headache you are.
Right.
And so when you think about how good God has been to you and you receive that goodness, and then you learn to be good to yourself,
Yeah.
then you can definitely be good to others and give people space to be good to themselves.
Right.
So when they say, "Oh, I need some rest," you don't try to pressure them,
Right.
you know, because you understand that they need that and you respect that they know what
Mhm.
they need for their bodies
Amen.
or for their life.
All right. Next subject: career shifting.
Wow.
Yeah, let's talk about it. My wife has decided to come back and work in the office with me.
Bet the bag on
One of the
myself,
things was
yeah.
good. One of the things that was
Bet.
we used to work together in another office building, and we had doors. So I used to say the doors actually saved our marriage. So because when we come to work, because we would come to work together, we would drive together. We didn't have separate cars. That makes sense. We drive and work together. Of course, we don't have separate cars.
It's
But
okay.
anyway,
It's okay.
we're not getting along. So the wall or the doors allowed us to be kind of
In a
away from
separate
each other
space.
to kind of settle
Mm-hmm.
ourselves and settle our attitudes down so that we can finally come together and have a conversation. But so now we're
Mercy.
working together again, and we don't have doors, but we have
Petitions.
petitions, which allow some space
Mm-hmm.
from each other. But it's exciting though. I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited. I was talking to her earlier. I was a little, what's the word, apprehensive
Mm-hmm.
about it, but it wasn't based on the relationship. It was based on like, so she's been working for somebody for like 4 years. Is she gonna have the type of discipline to go back to working for herself? Because when you work for yourself, you can really be lazy and not do whatever it is, like, because you don't have anybody over you that you have to clock in for. So I don't know, which did she get out of habit? Because when she was a Mary Kay rep, she was balling. She was going forth, and it was like she was tenacious. Is tenacious the right word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was like, can she get that back? You know what I'm saying? Because now we don't have children. The reason why she quit Mary Kay, she was rocks. She was gold, yellow jacket star, red jacket, whatever, team lead, star lead, something like that. And she quit because the time was taken away from her children. Well, guess what? Our children are older now. They're all
Wow.
adults. And so
They doing
can
it
she
too.
get back into the groove? So that was one of the things I was apprehensive about, doing that. And yeah, so how do you feel about this career shift that you are making? And, what's your thoughts about it?
So it's so interesting. When Patrick,
How old are you? 46?
I won't be putting yes.
Okay, so now listen. So, but that adds, at 46, she's making a career shift.
Mm,
All right, so I just want to put that in mind. Go ahead.
yeah. And so one of the things I would say that um, I think about often when you mention about you being apprehensive is the woman that I was 4 years ago. I am not her now. I have had
What's
to
up?
learn so
Tell me.
much. And so I'm at a place in my life too where even, I don't have to say a lot. I can show you who I am. So allow me to reintroduce myself. Um, and so
That's what's
I
up.
have gained a better respect or greater respect for my husband and myself. And so I have been very prayerful about us rejoining in the business aspect as far as being in the same space because we've always worked together.
Mhm.
We do ministry together. We
Mhm.
we have fun together. Like this is my friend. This is my husband. Like we do everything together. I don't get tired of him.
Amen.
And so, with that being said, the woman who I was 4 years ago, lacking, I say had moderate confidence, uh, had moderate, I would say I had maybe, I had my levels of insecurities. But here now I have had to work in an environment where I had to meet people from all over the world. I had to adopt and adapt quickly. I had to adjust and pivot very fast in order to connect with the people that I was serving. And I can say 4 years ago, I did not have as many friends as I have now from all over the world. I would say I had an opportunity.
Friends with quotations, right?
Friends meaning clients,
Okay.
like like business partners.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I had to. I would say I have had the privilege of serving over 1,200 people.
Throughout the 4 years
Throughout the
of the
four
company.
years. And so I keep in contact with some of them through text messaging, telephone calls, Facebook, through social media. That says a lot about an individual on both ends. And so I would say I had the opportunity of servicing people again from all over the world, not just the United States, but from Africa, from Australia. I can tell you some of their names. If I saw them again, I would know, how's your husband, the 2 children, the 3 children, whatever it is. Like, it's things like my memory has had to kick in, because when they loop back around, maybe like a convention that maybe they were coming to, and they come back around, they will be just floored that I will remember certain things. And so, will remember them. So all of that being said, it's like now I have to implement that for my own self. And so now I believe when I have to go and approach a potential client or go to a business, I would not feel insecure or lacking confidence. It's like, if the Lord told me to go, I'm going, and going prepared. Now, I'm not going just any kind of way, because there is a way to present oneself.
So what? 46 years old, career shifting, different level of confidence. What can you say if you were encouraging someone who's trying to make a shift now later in life? What was the thing that brought the confidence? That gave you the confidence? You say you're more confident now. What would you say was the contributing factor to that confidence?
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say one of the practical things now,
Okay.
because we know that spiritually you do what the Lord give you to do. Like, make sure that you obey Him. That's first and foremost. You make Him first and foremost in your life. The next thing is, whatever it, like, quiet yourself down to find out who it is that you are and what it is that you really want,
Okay.
and then focus in on developing that craft. So in my case, well, I'll just say, if in my case, I am working with people, like, I really enjoy meeting people. So it was to my best benefit to find out the different personality types, to find out how to adjust and adapt, to not push an introvert
Gotcha.
and not try to calm down an extrovert, but
So-
now still make them aware of their surroundings.
So you say not pushing an introvert in your business, meaning if the client is in your chair and you recognize they are an introvert, you don't force them to have a conversation with you. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
So the extrovert, what do you mean you don't force them to be?
You don't force them to be introverted. So that means if they want to talk and they want to
Okay,
share
gotcha.
about their life.
And my
to
mind
go
thinking
ahead.
somebody just going crazy in your chair and they're being loud and boisterous, and you like, no, you don't. You
Yeah.
don't.
Now, I would say I have had a handful of those, and I would just remind them that other services are being, like someone that's getting other spa services. So, just kind of bring it down a little bit. They say, oh, I apologize, But it is an art to communicating and connecting with other people. So my point is that whatever it is that you are, whatever industry that you are in, you want to make sure that you learn to hone in on that particular craft, so that when you do make the shift to wherever you're going, you're not just going in blind. line.
So what's your thought process now? Like, how do you feel about making the career shift? What do you are you scared? Are you nervous? Are you excited? Are you happy? Or what is it? Is it all of the above? You know,
And it is.
one
I was
minus
going to
one.
say, that's so funny.
Um,
I will say that it is a conglomerate of emotions. Like I have moments where I just need to stop and think and reflect, look back on where I've come from, where I'm going. Why would I be so nervous about a move or
hmm
change? I have had to grapple with that.
So you have had nerves about the move. What
hmm
were you nervous about?
Making the wrong decision or
What, help me out.
making the wrong choice. Should I stayed in a toxic work environment for
Okay.
security purposes,
hmm
or do I know that my creativity and ingenuity will come up as a result of me moving, making the best decision and choice for myself? And so that's what I did. Like, I looked back over my life and saw the resilience
hmm
and how I have overcome way more than what I have flopped. And so they gave me courage.
hmm
They gave me courage and confidence to move ahead with wisdom and with understanding. Like, don't just make a move. Don't just do it random.
Right. That's good.
You don't just make a random move, but it's like you prepare yourself, you prepare your spouse, you prepare your household. Like,
Yeah.
I stayed communicating with everyone about what I was thinking, what I was feeling.
hmm
So my close friends, I had mentors that I could get feedback from.
That's now those are mentors are because I want to give everybody something. Those are mentors who are in person as well as YouTube mentors that you have to like because you don't have to be without a mentor because you don't know anybody. You can find somebody on YouTube in that particular business to mentor you. There's always nuggets that are being dropped. You
Yeah,
know.
and so I would say again with that shifting, it is any shift. And let me be very transparent. For whatever reason, as human beings, we want things to stay the same. The reality is that nothing stays the same.
hmm
So we have to continue to be prepared for the shift. One of my favorite books is called Who Moved My Cheese, which I have to
hmm
read it before I get started really moving. I'm gonna have to squeeze it in there.
Yeah.
But whenever you have to pay attention to the indicators that are in life. You can tell when things start to change and
Yeah.
rearrange right before your eyes. Don't close your eyes and stick your head in the sands of life and
hmm
pretend that it's not going to happen. It doesn't work like that.
hmm
So it would behoove us to make sure that we pay attention very well, and
When
so
the
that
cheese
we
is
can,
moving.
when the cheese is moving, or even when the cheese is being restocked. It's like, okay, how do I best maximize the moments where it's just yummy? The blessings are coming, blessing on blessing on blessing. That's not for us necessarily to hoard, but am I to be a blessing to someone else?
Right.
You have to be able to pay attention to those things.
Yeah.
And then when you have those seasons where when it's lean, it's just hard to come by a blessing,
hmm
right? You have to make sure that you are able to live through those times where a famine is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Those famine seasons, they happen.
Right. So a couple of things. I keep talking, not in the mic. A couple of things I want people to take away from that is I think one of the things she said she stayed in communication, and so there's the support of your family to make the move. Because one of the things she said that I don't want anybody to miss is don't make a haphazard just shoot out there. Now sometimes you may need to, but for the most part, don't just move without having a conversation. And all of a sudden, you come home and your husband talking about, baby, I'm going to business for myself. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So you have to have communication. You have to talk. I think there should be a plan in place on what will happen in the in between while you're building. That's one good thing. There was something else you said that I wanted to say. Oh, while things are going great. So if you're at a job and things are going well, those are the best times to prepare for famine. Joseph told Pharaoh, while the 7 years that things were going well, he told everybody to take 1/5 and store it. Take 20% of what was growing and save it. I just dropped the nugget. take 20% and save it while things are going well, because the famine is going to come, and taking this 1/5 of grain and storing it is going to help you throughout the time when things aren't going well. And so, um,
I want to say something right there too.
okay,
With the savings too, you know, that fifth or whatever it is that you decide. In Joseph's case, he advised Pharaoh to do 1/5
hmm
of plenty and to store it up.
hmm
Whenever spouses or couples, whenever you are storing up, just remember that life will happen. Like, this is the reason why you stored it up. And I felt the need to stop Patrick and share that, because I know that I have often hit moments of frustrations when we were saving and we
ah,
wanted
yeah,
to, have 3 months worth of savings,
hmm
or we were saving for, I don't know, a piece of furniture, or some equipment or whatever, and
hmm
then a monkey wrench is thrown in the dryer, a washing machine go out.
hmm
It's like, man,
hmm
we got to use this for that. Like, that was so Memphis. But anyway,
we're from Memphis though.
yeah, it can be just so frustrating. Like, life can, the frustrations in life can show up in your finances.
Yeah.
But you don't want it to show up and you don't have anything for yourself to be frustrated and kicking yourself in the butt about. And what I mean by that is that if you have saved up 1,500 and then you need to do a repair on your car and it is 1,400,
hmm
that's what the 1,500 was
That's
for.
4. That's good.
And so it can be so freaking frustrating when you are left reduced with $1, because you answered a life, something that came to your door,
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Suffering is not scheduled. It just,
Hmm.
yeah,
Suffering is not scheduled.
you don't schedule it. Well, it's not on our time. Like,
It's not on.
and can I
Yeah.
can I be honest? If we could schedule it,
We wouldn't.
would we schedule it?
I wouldn't.
No. That's a visitor that you like. You're not ever welcomed here.
hmm
And suffering be like, you living this life. I'll see you when I see you. So you better get it together. But yeah, anyway, that's a car repair. That's a health issue.
That's good.
That's a bill, unexpected bill.
Yeah.
Like, where they come from, right? You got all your stuff stacked up. This bill is from 1976. Like, I was born, yeah, but your mama didn't pay for the birthday. Like, man, what happened to it being washed off 7 years? Like, I was 7 years old. That should have went away. Like, no, that didn't apply. That law don't apply to us. This little clause right here said we can get you for life. Like, bruh. Anyway, so I said all that to say, do not allow the frustrations of life to find you without having saved something. Even if it's just $1, you still $1 up,
Yeah.
Even if it's 50 cent, you 50 cent up. That's one that you can say that I can contribute something
Yeah.
to the completion of the end of this debt. And that's another thing. Now the Lord is helping me right here, y'all. I didn't want it to preaching or evangelist mode right here. Look, debts do come to an end. Hallelujah. They do come. Debts are canceled.
Yeah.
They do not always linger over your head. There is a such thing as freedom.
Yeah.
There is a such thing as being able to go and enjoy life without the hardships of finances. Like having financial hardships is what
Right.
I'm saying. Yeah, and you won't always have to borrow from your future to do it. You can be able to pay for it today. Do the right things today.
Correct.
When you do the right things today, then guess what? Tomorrow won't be saying, well, no, you took away from me. Now you be saying, no, I invested in you yesterday. So I expect to find best living today.
Yeah.
Why? Because I did what I was supposed to do yesterday. So go ahead and let's do what we're supposed to do so that we can make the shifts, so that when health issues come up or whatever, we can look back and we can say, hey, I can overcome that. Our bodies and our different things constantly giving us feedback. Make the adjustments. Grab the opportunity to take the walk.
That's good.
To do the savings, to tell your boo you love them, to sit beside them, to work with them. Sorry. I got excited.
So leave us a comment. Let us know what do you think is a good amount or a good percentage to set aside to save. If you can, tell us why you think that, and you know, um, how has whatever you are suggesting, how has it helped you and your household and your finances um, to help with the knock. You said knock the knocking of the stuff,
Suffering.
the unscheduled suffering
Come on.
that comes into your life. So let us know. Leave us a comment. Let us know what yeah, what do you think is a good percentage number? You know, I'm thinking 20%. Is it 10? Is it 15? And then tell us why did you think that? You know, hey, anything else? Are we done?
That's it. That's all. I
That's it.
have a
That's
lot
all.
to say, but no, I can stop that.
No, you could. Well, okay. Anyway, so we thank you guys for joining on today. I hope you found value in what we said, and if you did, hit the like button. If you
Yes.
did,
Share it.
subscribe. If you have not
Mm-hmm.
subscribed, particularly more people watch than subscribe. So if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscription. Please hit the subscribe button. And as my wife said, share, share, and share alike. Also, listen, if you have not gotten your book, my wife wrote a booklet called The Disciples Prayer. If you have not gotten your own booklet and journal, the link will be in the description box below. When you do purchase it, take a picture and what is it called? Share us? No, tag
Post.
us
Tag us. Yeah.
on Instagram at his wife her husband 97. And if you have any questions that you want us to answer on this particular channel, please send us an email to his wife her husband 97 at gmail.com. His wife her husband 97 at gmail.com. If you have not signed up for our Patreon page, please do so. We are it is at the minimum $5 a month, and we're a little slow on starting the videos. We got some other things we have to put in place, but you can go ahead and sign up, and then when we get started, you'll be ready for those one-on-one, not really one-on-one, but you get to interact with us on Tuesday. We'll probably do a lot of hot topics on that particular that particular Tuesday nights, and it'll be a lot of fun. So if you have not signed up, please do so. If you're on Spotify, or if you're listening from our what we call podcast, you can also sign up on there as well, and make sure you follow us on our podcast. And yeah, so we thank you guys for being a part of it. Anything? That's it.
That's it. That's all.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see you at the top. Take care.
Take care. Bye.
All right.